Good morning, y'all. Welcome in. I know I haven't been posting. I needed my rest. So we're gonna go with episode I think 12 and 13. We have one more episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16, including a 2 or 3 part reunion. So that's what's coming up. Okay, so now we're going to start with 12 and trickle to 13. So when y'all see this, it's starting with 12, trickling to 13. Like I said, we got one more episode. We're going to the reunion, okay? So Shamia sat down with Cynthia and they had a conversation. This is what I'm going from what I'm seeing here. They had a conversation about how she felt like things wasn't reciprocated at the time. She felt like Portia didn't sit here and stick up for her with the ladies, and she felt like if the ladies could come in between to tell things to Portia, that Portia would sway. Here's my thing: I don't think Portia swayed with the ladies. I'm going to be biased and I'm going to be honest. I think Portia wanted Shamia and her to have a certain friendship on the show. I'm gonna show you why. Because um, Phaedra and Portia are like giggly and they can talk about everybody, even themselves, and throw a little shade and be cool. And I think that's what Shamia and Portia do when the cameras are off. So, she's talking with Cynthia, and Cynthia already said she felt like the ladies were getting in between the friendship by going back playing telephone, which everybody feels that way. And she said, she felt like that was the problem with the friendship. She said she knew there was side things, but that was the issue. And basically, it seems like to me, okay, that Portia Shamia friendship is a reflection of Shamia's mom and Portia's mom friendship. And I'm gonna tell you why, because Portia did go back and tell Shamia what her mom said because that is her friend. She didn't tell. She was like, "Girl, I told you." I was like, "Girl, I feel like that's the situation with those two. It affecting the friendship. And easy for people to play telephone because the friction of how they met, which was between the mothers. So Cynthia was telling her, it's giving her, sort of similarities of what her and Nene went through at the time of their friendship when they had some issues. And she says she understands Shamia and she understands Portia because they've been friends since childhood. But what's funny to me is that Shamia said she was glad to talk to Cynthia about it. But what was funny to me was they asked her what did Shamia mom do, and she was like, why they fell out, and she said she wasn't gonna get into that. So excuse me, y'all, my bad. I just gotta remind me. So my thing is, if you and Portia had this issue because of the parents falling out, why is it playing on the show, and why is it so easy for the ladies to come involved, right? So, Shamia agreed to have to sit down with Portia about it. Now we go into Angela, Portia, and Cynthia. Cynthia later goes on to meet, Portia at the bowling alley with Angela because who played telephone? Mostly Angela. And I feel like Angela she tried to sit here and be a good sport, but I'm gonna be honest, it does look like a little telephone, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I feel like Angela Drew relationship ain't gonna last long either. But anyway, they have a sit down with Portia, and she starts talking about her divorce, and a lot of people was like, "Well, why does you keep bringing up Pilar looking for PJ, looking for Simon?" Okay, so let me explain something, y'all. Simon, Portia, and Dennis were a blended family. Pilar saw that for like 2, 3 years, right? Okay. And she saw other kids coming around. So you have to understand this is, I think, Pilar, like we're gonna say between the ages of 5 and 7. Kids at that age notice a change. Kids are very aware with those between those ages of something is going on. Kids are aware, period. So y'all have to understand, yeah, Pilar gonna ask because she's used to seeing that for a while. She got used to it. It became a part of the routine of life in her home, and that's why she keeps asking. Now she see Dennis popping up, so she not gonna ask, mommy and daddy, the situation with that. But she noticed Simon and his kids are not around, so that's gonna affect her because she got used to those kids being around. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, yeah, you gotta understand when he asked her to marry him and sign that prenup." After the negotiations, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at Attorney Simone Redwine. She basically broke down it where had his. It was his lawyer fault how the prenup is done, but when they had the conversation about her watching the children leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta, Dish Nation, excuse me, and all the stuff she worked on, she didn't have to do those things because his goal was to take care of her and for her to take care of the house and the children. That was the thing. So when that happened, Portia held her end of the bargain. But Portia felt like there was some things going on that's gonna come out when they go to court this summer, this June. But she said that, she don't want to mess up and lose, excuse me, y'all, her friendship with have a divorce with her friendship with Shamia, like she's going through her divorce. That's too much on her. And I believe when she was filming this stuff, this was the time that he was asking for things. He tried to get Portia out the home. He was saying mean things about Portia. Y'all gotta understand this was filmed last summer. And we're not getting this spring going into summer. This is not spring, summer, fall. This is spring going into summer. And so you guys got to understand around that time, those things were different. Now, something I want to point on, I'm going to point on to when we get there. So Drew, let's talk about Drew. So Drew get a phone call from her mother and her sister that Raph is trying to take the LLC. I want y'all. I'm gonna wait and then you guys can hear it. Hey Terry, thank you so much, Terry. I'm gonna post this because I'm gonna start playing a audio. So Drew got word that he was trying to take something from her family. They called her, and I'm gonna break this down. I watched Attorney Simone Redwine with another blogger, and they broke this down so vividly that Drew is not innocent. So I'm gonna let this play, y'all, and I want y'all to hear it. Hughes from my case. Sounds like Ralph is trying to get her removed from the case, and he's trying to claim being rightful owner to Juice Adore LLC. That's crazy to me. At the last trial, the court has set another date for us to turn over all our financials. Ralph had not turned over his financials. So that's not true. From what we read in the court documents, Ralph was waiting on Drew financials. What Drew did with the LLC is Ralph had showed proof that he did help her with the LLC recently. And Drew decided when she wasn't supposed to, meaning there, even if they have joint accounts, just like she lied about the pest control, she's in charge of the pest. He's in charge of the mortgage and bills, the upkeeping, and to staying at home. That's why he's still there because the amount on that home and for what they'll sell it for, if they both would have to move in order to have this dissolve, meaning they have to split what they got for the home. Drew basically the reason why he's trying to get rid of her attorney and disbar her because Drew attorney did not tell her allegedly, it's in court document, but did not tell her that she wasn't supposed to sell that LLC and get a new one. She's going to confirm to this. She wasn't supposed to. Anything they have with joint bank accounts, the home, all that stuff cannot be sold and finished until the divorce is final. Just like with Chantel and Pedro, and this is state of Georgia. We don't see this happen before. Chantel and Pedro had to live in that home until the divorce was finalized. Nothing could be sold. Nothing until the judge confirmed it. Just like with Brianna and LaTrue, they couldn't do anything until the judge confirmed what was what. So Drew wasn't supposed to do that. But I'm gonna let this finish continue because we found that out.
Tanya just told me that they are filing a motion to recuse because she created another company since he was trying to come from my other company. So he now is saying, well, I want both of them.
He has that right.
He wants 40% of Drusador LLC that I incorporated with in 2005. And then he wants 40% of my new entity. And we're like, no, absolutely not. Ralph coming after my company truly caught me off guard because Ralph does very well. He works very hard. I don't know the details of Ralph's finances. We have separate accounts, but it's definitely raising a...
Come to find out, in that court document, they do not have, I believe they really don't have a separate account. But
Ralph, I don't understand why he would want to...
Well, I think they have separate, but they still got to join.
Brain me dry. I am providing for the kids 100%. He's not even paying child support. He's not giving you a dime. We here are helping you out to take care of these kids. No matter what happens with us, we still have to...
Here's my thing. This is why I kind of was on the side note of when a lot of people say why he won't adopt him. First, this is why I felt like Ralph should never have adopted him. It's the same thing that Brianna was doing. Why should adopt a child in order to get child support from that person? Because you're not getting child support from the father. And it seemed like the father wanted to be active in Drew's son's life. And I know we don't see that on camera. I feel like I love Drew. I like Drew. I love who she is. But I feel like Drew has a lot of holes in her storyline and her story a lot. And this is why people do not believe her. But I'll continue playing this video.
Have a level of respect for each other because we still have to parent our children. In the long run, it hurts our kids. You won't believe, I even didn't tell you this, but he literally took the access away from me on our security system. So when I got to the house, my code did not work on the doors, and I was completely locked out of the house. What? Yeah, I had to go to a hotel, and this was like 1 a.m. And then he magically gets to the house, and he's able to walk down in the basement door and get in.
I got questions because Drew be lying. Ralph do too. I'd rather read in the court documents. Ralph do be lying sometimes. No shade to Ralph. I like Ralph. Shout out to Ralph. And what's weird to me is how she said this, and then when we go to Carlos King, she goes to say, basically that, oh, Ralph is so fine and he's so this and he's so that. But I'm kind of confused. Like, yo, you supposed to big up your ex-husband true enough, but damn, like, you hated him and made him look bad. And then when the camera's down, now I'm seeing what people are saying. When the camera's down, like, oh, he's so fine and good looking. And then at one point, it was trying to make it seem like they were broke. Raph didn't have no money. And then come to find out, Raph got a good job and Raph can work in it. I'm just like, what's going on, Drew? Like, what's Drew? Give us the real Drew. We don't want all these hoes, all this confusion. We don't want to go down to the, apartment, come back up to the bar, and then gotta go. Like, no, girl, give us the whole shebang at once. That's what we just be saying, okay? Give us the whole thing. Give us the whole thing. So, she said that he did lock her out. He probably did, child. Ain't no telling. She probably came home on the week that wasn't a week or whatever, however the case may be, because, she got to leave the house I think 4 days out the week. He leave the house for 3 or whatever, and that's probably what happened or whatnot. So then we go into Angela talks to her mother. She has a sit down with her mother. Now Angela basically said that her and Charles brought this home, and rest in peace to Angela's mom. Shout out to her. I give my love and support to her. Angela did say, I think she said that was the episode after her mom passed, And Angela says that she's brought them a home that was her a home. Her dream was to take care of her family, especially her mother, and she brought her mother $4,000 some home. And she was upset that her mom was selling this home because that was the home she brought for her, and just to take care of her and everything. And her mom just sits down and tell her the situation and why she hasn't really talked to, I guess, Charles, her son in love, for 3 years, because he told her son he heard her say your daughter need to get up and clean up or something. And the mama said, you're not gonna talk about my child like that. I don't like you. You got nothing to say. But then she said, after everything that that's her son in love, she forgave him or whatever it was a while. She didn't like what was said. And then, she made it short and sweet, which I like, and moved on. And then, she sat down to Angela, brought up the house, and basically, Angela basically said, she just wanted to take care of her mother. She brought that home to take care of her. And her mama basically said, and it's not your burden to give me something and take care of me, financially, which could be a financial strain on you. And I was like, wow, that was beautiful. Because Angela feels like it's her duty. And the mama is letting her know, no, baby, my burdens are mine. We're doing fine. We're doing great for ourselves. You could now have that financial strain off you and enjoy what you work hard for. And that was beautiful to see with Angela mom, for her mom to say, you know what, that's not your responsibility. I'm glad to, I want you to enjoy what you work hard for, because as a mother, that's just what it is. And, Angela felt the type of way, but then she said, I'm happy that I can, what I'm saying, do that. I can have that financial stress off of me and to do what I have to do, because for her, while she said it, my dream was to take care of my mother. My dream was to make it to take care of my mother. And for her mother to tell her that, that's better. That's better for her. And then we go to Kelly teaching her daughter how to drive. Kelly was about to have a heart attack, honey. Chloe was about to run her raggedy. So she's teaching her how to drive. She's telling her where to go. Kelly about to have a fit with the dog. And, she basically telling Chloe, like, Chloe tells her Kelly tells Chloe she wanted to get her a Jeep. And she said, you know what, I might not get you that because you still have to learn how to drive and basically, to learn the maintenance of a car. Chloe goes, oh, you could get me a BMW. She said, I'm not paying for the maintenance. I'm not paying for the upkeep. And, Kelly was like, she realizing that, it's hard because she got the business that she's trying to do with Sandy Springs, to where her daughter understands she's going to be working and helping out at the restaurant to make, the money that she needs to make. She said it's hard taking care of 4 kids and a dog and herself when she has to do carpooling. She realized how exhausted is from carpooling. And she basically tells Chloe, listen, we're going to open up the Sandy Springs location. I need your help. So basically, this will be Kelly's second location at her restaurant in Atlanta. I'm not sure where the other one is, but I heard great things. I think she did open up the second location in Sandy Springs. If you're on Atlanta, you go check that out. It's chicken and waffle location. And she basically, was saying how it's a lot that she has to come out of pocket to do. And it's not just the problem with opening up that second location is to make sure that her and the children are still stable, even though she's coming out of pocket with some things that have to be fixed. She want to make sure also on the flip side that everything is good at home, everything is stable, the kids are what they're used to. She's not short on what she needs to be short on. The kids are well taken care of, so she's trying to keep everything together, including business, kids, the dog. The dog got to have maintenance, and everybody understands, especially those small dogs. They got to be groomed properly. They have to be at the vet to see what's going on. They have to get their teeth checked because you understand they're small. They may have some dental issues or issues going on. So it's a lot that has to be done. So they came to the understanding of everything, and it was just cute to see her drive. And then we get to the Shamia and Portia sit down. Now, this is what I want to talk about because a lot of people feel like Portia and Shamia are not friends for real. I do. What we need to start normalizing in our friendships is not just to see other people's feelings, but also I'm starting to sense that some people don't normalize people going through hardships and knowing how to be there. Because I went through my own and I felt like some of my friends were not fully there. We have to normalize that. Even though we're going, Shamia is going through expressing her feelings. Portia's going through being dragged on the internet by an African man that was said he was a millionaire, that was not American citizens. Okay, that put his ex-wife out because she cheated, and he got a new home from the home he sold from the ex-wife. Got a new wife, put her up, which was Portia, to take care of the children. Remind you, this is Simon. We're gonna say 4 to 6 marriage. Let me tell you something. I told Portia about this man when I heard what was going on, and I dug deep into the marriages. Simon's done this before. Okay, it's no shade. Simon done this before. So they go in a conversation, and Shamia just starts welling out on the girl. You don't reciprocate. You don't do da. And I'm like, Shamia, I'm gonna say something. This is what I want to get into. Is no shade. I like Candy. Shout out to Candy. Allegedly, Candy was coaching Shamia on how to act doing this. Of how, because this scene looks very familiar with the sit down, and it seemed like, remember when Phaedra was going through the divorce? Phaedra was being a mean girl. Candy was being a mean girl. They were falling out in their friendship, and Candy just wailed out on Phaedra. That's what it's given. So what I liked was Portia didn't say anything. Portia was like, "Listen, please stop, not for the cameras." Portia really don't want to lose her friendship with Shamia. And I found it very interesting that her and Shamia got into it, and Shamia used Candy and saying she was a good friend to get back at Portia. And I was in both of their comments telling them to take that shit down. I sure the hell did. I said, take that shit down. Because one Portia, you didn't want to talk about that situation at that dinner table. You wanted to save your friendship. You was being genuine. Shamia was being genuine how she felt. Y'all squashed it. I don't know who and who ill. I don't know if I feel like the show bring up old things and it mess with their friendship because they don't have things resolved. And that's why I went in their comments and on Instagram and told both of them to take that shit down. Do I know? I don't know if they took it down, but I told them they need to fix that situation, and it's only a phone call. Now I don't know what happened after that. It seemed like they were good. They probably had a phone call, but I really meant when I said take that shit down, because y'all gotta understand, y'all got new girls that want y'all spot and want to have a friendship like y'all to play off with. It looked like Drew want that with Angela. So if I was Shamia, and it's no shade, so if I was Shamia and Portia, I'll fix my shit and showcase my friendship and keep it moving. And the fans, y'all got to stop coming in here talking shit and sitting here talking shit about Portia and saying, oh, well, I would have showcased this and that so y'all can have something to judge. Because to be honest, I'm going to say it like Kelly said it. Kelly agreed, and Kelly took the words out my mouth, just like Shamia did when they did that interview. The fans don't know what the hell they want, and they don't. They're giving it to you, baby. It's up to you to take it and run with it. Y'all ain't getting it yet. I don't know what's the miscommunication with the show, and that's how I feel. So, as they sit down had the conversation, they went. Portia walked off after she was trying to eat, and she basically, Portia went in argumentative. This is how I know Portia going through something. A lot of people saying Portia should have brought it. Portia ain't gonna bring it because y'all gonna look at her as a mean girl if she did because of her divorce. Portia is really trying to find peace after this divorce. I don't know what happened in that marriage, what was said that night in that fight that they had that led to this divorce, and ever since that night of that fight that led to the divorce, Portia been going through it. It's just the shade ain't been there. The shade starting to come back, but it ain't been there. So, I'm glad that they had a conversation because Shamia was like, I just want you to reciprocate my feelings, understand my feelings. So Portia said, what do I need to do? And Portia, everybody was like, oh, Portia played in her face. No, let me tell y'all something. This is what I can't stand. Y'all want somebody to cry and beg to y'all for forgiveness. That is not your place. Accept that the apology, if it's sincere or not, it will show. Move the hell on. Nobody got to kiss your ass. Y'all got this kiss your ass syndrome. Accept that apology and move on, baby. Accept it and move on. Y'all want Shamia to get a kiss ass from Portia. We have saw that they both done some things in their friendship. Yes, it's been one sided, but we're not gonna act like when Phaedra and Candy were falling out, Shamia and Portia was falling out because they were taking sides of somebody that they felt was valid. Phaedra and Candy did not stop that because they were deteriorating their friendship. They needed new friends. We saw it. Cameron was a friend on the show. She wasn't on the show like that. But Shamia was. Cameron did not like Portia. Candy was falling out with Portia. So it was right to say, girl, come on over here, girl. We think just alike. Phaedra didn't like Shamia like that at first. She liked it, but it wasn't that cool. Candy and Phaedra were falling out bad. Come here, Portia. You under it was both sides that it deteriorated their friendship. But they did have a conversation. Portia held her hand. They said they gonna understand. They iced it out. I don't know why people want them to argue as friends. Let me tell you something. I don't care. And she said that Shamia said it should be a price tag. First of all, I understand with Portia. I'm not going to argue with my friend on TV to get somebody because they're already judging our friendship to make it worse of a judgment. Then I say something somebody side wrong or they hate you and then they hate me. I'm not doing that. When we arguing off camera. That's just what it is. I'm not finna. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. And y'all be too invested with people arguments to pick a side. I'm not doing that. I feel like they are friends because we could have seen a Candy and Phaedra situation where they hated each other and walked off and the friendship is over. Now we're gonna get into the real tea. So this new episode 13, honey, that came on last night, I liked it. I liked it. My thing is, with season episode 12, I'm sorry, I feel like uh I feel like Shamia and Portia was supposed to get up on the new girls. To me, they did what they were supposed to. Hell, they part of the friend. Like, let's be for real. Shamia was part of the franchise. Shamia was friends on the show for a minute. She had a full season of being a friend, and she was in and out as a friend. So hell, shit. I feel like it should. Now we gonna go to the T. So Shamia go on V103, okay, and she talk about releasing her song. Now I remember her song. Her song catchy as hell, and she talk. She's back. This time she's back as an artist and as a person that's not a host on V103, but Big Ticker and with Jazzy. And I like that because now she's back as a person with a peach holder and stuff like that. So she talk about releasing her music and her song, and they got it and they're playing it for her. One thing I can say about Atlanta when it comes to V103, and they do support local artists and people that want to become artists. I like that. All you gotta do is send that stuff to them. They're gonna play it and they're gonna put it in rotation to be played. That's just them. So shout out to Atlanta. Excuse me, they do their big one. Then Big Ticket said something about, oh, well, Drew released her song. He said, oh, she released her song. She said one things about the lie is that she speak 5 languages. And she said, well, we know that's a lie because she don't speak 5 languages. And then Shamia said, I don't notice I have beef with these people because I be so busy. But then when I get a chance, I have a chance to discuss it because Kelly came back and told Shamia that Drew called her a lap dog. Now Drew been minding her business and do what a friend do. Everybody like Drew. Shamia, I'm sorry, but do what a friend do. Everybody ain't like Drew now. Now then she said, but since I'm a lap dog, we're gonna see how big of a lap dog I am, child. So then we go into Angela trying to get the things done for her home that she's trying to rent. So Angela come in, things are not done, things are not fixed. Things are arrayed and she's ready to sell this home. She spent money on this property. Y'all know Angela's a real estate agent, and she said the guy told her a month ago he gonna get his people and make sure it's fits. It's gonna be right for it to sell and be showed. Angela say ain't nothing fixed in that house. It's still details that need to be. He said my guys are good guys. They gonna do. Angela like girl. Angela come in. It's the same thing. She say it's different. She say to know that we in $2 million debt because now she has to sell the home for what she got it for, which was 338K. She can't sell the home for more because of the newly renovations. If she would have put that money that she spent, she would have got it back with the renovations, and she could have sold it for what she wanted to sell it for. But now it took so long to sit under with renovations, the value goes down, right? So now she has to sell it 338K. So Angela is upset because she like we at $2 million in debt. It's not great to be $2 million in debt when you have these homes that you just now selling. Meaning she got to get somebody that know what they get somebody else to take care of everything. And then with the $4,000 home, she brought her mother, like that. Excuse me, with her mom moved out, so you gotta understand she gotta resell that home. Her mama probably wasn't in there that long. That takes her value down. Get that fixed up for that to be sold. So yeah, she's 2 million in debt. So then somebody say, "Oh, she did the show because she 2 million in debt." Child, I'm not gonna play with y'all. But so Shamia was like, Shamia, my bad. Angela was stressed. Like she like I'm stressed out. Basically, it's stressful because everything that she put into these homes to be resold in real estate. I'm glad that Angela is on the show, and I'm gonna tell you why. I like Angela personality is fit for the show. With real estate going how it's going, this is a great space for Angela because look who we have. And the way real estate is, I mean, we're getting ready to head through inflation, y'all. We finna hit it hard this time. I'm glad that Angela has another safety net. I do. And I hope she is strategizing around what's going on because, be honest with you, it's really finna get hard for people in real estate insurance. It's finna really get hit home um, on some aspects because now people have to get it together, and therefore. So then she talked to Charles about the side baby situation and going to the Derby. Now, Charles did go to the Derby. We're gonna get into it. So Brit has a country club. She did a country club classic. Everybody sitting out talking, eating, having a good time. She's drinking her wine. And Brit got her something, I guess was an outfit, and it was an extra large. She was like, I'm not an extra large. But okay. I feel like Angela. Now I'm gonna be honest. I think Brit got that for Angela, and she didn't get everybody in exact size because it probably does run small, right? What you mean by that? So let's say you go to Walmart, you go buy you some no boot shorts, right? Now your size is a 7, but this way they made the no boot shorts can be a size 4, 3, or 4. And you like, damn, did I gain weight? You didn't gain weight. See, certain clothes, what I've noticed with the material, runs a little smaller. So if she got her extra large, it's because it's really could be a small or medium, whatever the size she says she is. And I think all the girls did not get their size. They got it a size bigger but smaller. Let me tell you, material wise. If y'all pay attention to what's going on with this inflation, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's shady. No, she probably did. I'm gonna tell you why. Some of these clothes are being made smaller to go into like to fit smaller. You feel what I'm saying? So let's say you wear a 2X, right? And you're like, damn, I got a 2X. It's a little big. It's like, damn, I got a less space, right? I know I ain't lost weight. You're gonna have to go to one that's an extra large the way it's made to be made bigger. Some of these clothes are making their sizes bigger, and some of them are making a bigger size smaller. I promise y'all, go check it out. I'm telling y'all, if y'all look at some of these places, they are making the size bigger to be smaller and smaller to I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they trying to get their material. I don't know. It's crazy as hell. And trust me, it's a lot of that. So then, they're having the conversation, and Angel was like, "Oh, and it's no side, baby, right? It's no side, baby." And she said, "Well, that came up because basically, you know, she and I'm not one of his whores." He said, and Charles said, "I don't have whores." Well, Britt said, "Well, that came up because your wife said that I was one of his whores." And everybody was like, "Ooh, why would you say that?" Ex Cringe. No, Angela did say that. We saw that. Why would Angela? Why would Auntie Angela, honey? Oh, I'm gonna call you big cousin because you might not like Auntie. Why would you say that? Know how Charles is? You know how Charles is over there. You know how he is. Why would you say that? Girl, I'm gonna have to windmill for you a little bit. So as the conversation was headed, everything was fine. It was great. Then Drew and Shamia get into a disagreement. So Brent stand by, asked what would happen, and then Angela said basically Kelly and Drew got into it because she called Shamia a lapdog. Now when Kim with Drew, she just shaking her head like, will she say you a lapdog because the way you went back and told Portia what I said about Pilar? This is what she said, okay? She basically said that it was going to help pay the college for Pilar. Like Portia and Dennis ain't got it. And then, hold on, let me go back and show y'all how she said it.
Lesson on the other side. I know PJ's college has already been paid for. Well, I might contribute to some snacks or something. Shamia reported that back. Wait, this publishing is set up. That's gonna pay for PJ's whole college. So I feel like it's gonna be a big blessing on the other side. I know PJ's college has already been paid for. Well, I might contribute to some snacks or something. Shamia reported that back. You said, "Oh, I'm gonna be paying for Pilar's college education." Now you know that did not happen like that. Okay. You took a good conversation and you made it.
It wasn't a good conversation. You should have never said it. And number two, you was being messy about it. And she had every right to go tell her. So she called her lapdog with lapdog treats. And Shamia started barking. She said, "I guess I am the lapdog. Earth, earth, roof, roof." And she was like, "See, you've been so immature." No, you brought it. You ain't got nothing to say about that now because she just submitted to it. You don't have nothing to say about it now because you just admitted to it. And Portia hate the conversation like with the lapdog situation. Portia didn't stand in it and say anything because the fact is y'all gotta understand Shamia can handle her own. So Portia jumped in. She knows Shamia. Well, that's why she don't jump in. Shamia can handle her own. Shamia got it. Okay. And so Portia sit here laughing. So Brittany stayed up and said, "Lady, this is a Catholic event. If you guys want to have this continued conversation or whatever sidebar conversations you guys have, you guys can go outside, but you cannot do it here." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So Cynthia was like, "Well, that's enough. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go." The lap down comment was enough. She said it's very immature for that conversation to be had because Drew act like she don't know what nobody be talk. That would be killing me with Drew. Drew sit here and say this stuff, and then she act like she don't know what the hell she be talking about. She know what she be talking about. Like we not act like she don't. So then this is now we get with a moment is all been waiting for y'all. Phaedra is back, honey. Phaedra had me laughing, honey. Phaedra is back. She say she's home where she belong. Hey, Miss Sexy Ray. She say she regret what happened with Candy because it did take her away from the show, and she feel like she belongs on this show just like everybody else. I feel like, and let's start here. I want to say something. People got to stop downplaying like Candy was not gonna be back on this show if Phaedra came back. If Bravo gave Carlos King, if Carlos King didn't pivot We not gonna act like if Carlos King didn't come back, Candy would leave. We're not gonna act like Candy, and I like Candy too, but let's be honest. We're not gonna sit here and act like Candy is innocent and Candy don't be sneaky and play. Phaedra, Sheree said something, oh, she could have came back. I work with people, and she basically took digs at both and said, well, with Candy, I work with people that I don't like. Candy did not want to work with Phaedra because of what was said. But let's be honest. Candy knew Phaedra was a lawyer, and the things that she did could affect her and debar her by being with a criminal. She knew this. She knew what she was doing. Now, I hate that it happened with them two. I love their friendship, but this is the same shit that happened that they try to do with Shamia and Portia, because look how it did with Candy and Phaedra. But the difference is they're trying to use a different tact. So basically, she showed when Apollo. And then my favorite part was when her and Nene was trying to show Kim Fields interact with how Kim should read. It was so funny to see, and I love to see Nene and Phaedra together because they were funny. So it was freaking frat to frat, freaking frat forever and everything. And there was things that was said about, that was brought that to Portia attention to Phaedra what Candy was trying to do to her, and I agree. But I want to say this and this is to Candy. The same way you acted when Phaedra did what she did to you should be the same way you should act about the situation with Britt Edie. And the reason I say that because what if Phaedra would have used your nude photos? How would you would have felt? No woman want her nude photos out there be exploited to people because she wanted to show it. She would have showed it to the world. Okay? She scrubbed them for a reason. She wanted to leave that past alone. She is a married woman now. I would have scrubbed them too. New body. I don't want that. New body made me a wife. I don't give a damn. I don't know them. I don't know nothing. Just like Candy, half the time you don't know none of your exes. You know the rule. You know the rule. I don't know who that is. I ain't never met them. That one ex, I never met them a day in my life. Never. So that's how I feel about it. So, honey, this was her opinion of all the girls. I'm gonna wait till they get to that part because I want y'all to hear the opinion, Phaedra opinion of all the new girls, honey. I cackle. So, she talked about her young man that she's seeing that she paid to be on the show for Married to Minister the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like she not now she really with this 30-year-old man. I love to see it. But I want y'all to stop dating these. I don't know now. I don't know, but it got her ex-husband in the loop when he jumping on the internet when Mill is saving and surviving and saving his Botox Barbie. So then they had a conversation. Okay, so here you go, y'all.
Kelly comes to the showroom. She is so tiny. She's so tiny. She's smaller than you, girl. She's giving garden on. She is. I love small people. You so damn. You remember we had the Christmas party? I had all of the little people there. Maybe she is not that little. That's like my fetish, like little people. Oh my god! I just want to pick them up and take them home.
Now she want to pick up Kelly and take her home. Lord Jesus. Now Kelly is tiny, but not she want to pick. Now, Phaedra, did you want to do the same thing? Because Tiny from Escape is tiny too. Did you want to? Why do y'all want to pick? What is up with y'all of these? They're not little people. They just short. Okay, 5'2", 5'4". Well, we'll say 5'0" to 5'4". Ain't nobody under 4 feet, Phaedra.
Love everything little, honey. Little Duval, little baby, little Wayne, little mama. Just give me all the littles. I will take them, honey. I'll bag them up and put them in my basement. She's best friends with Britt.
Listen what she said about Britt.
Britt's been a girl about town. She's a woman about the city and the countries too. But she got more bodies than Willie, they say. What? I'm the Undertaker. Red Edie, she's been, known to have a few suitors, but now she's a married woman. Hey, somebody wifed her up, so that chicken pot pie must be.
Now they say Britt dated football players. And oh wait, here you go.
Shamia's always down. I didn't know down that. To the showroom, child. Yeah. Shamia's good people. Yeah, she's good people. Do you know just Sadora? Not really well. You know she's working with my child's father. She's selling hot dogs. Yeah, that she was sitting on the hot dog. But I thought Drew was more into tacos than hot dogs, from what I understand on the streets. The people in Atlanta are very fluid, so hey, we love to try it all. Well, someone told me Charles Oakley was married and his wife. What? Not just saying somebody told you he's married. You ain't know the man's married. So Petra, stop. This is the key I needed.
Child. Now she says she didn't know. Honey, the whole people knew. Anyway, everybody knew Charles Oakley was mad. I don't know why Phaedra played all day. So as they sit down talking, they're saying they're going to Grenada now. Kelly and Shamia is hosting this trip. Now she FaceTimes Shamia and she sees Phaedra and they all start kicking. So I'm glad. I don't know where this turned because Phaedra does not have a problem with Shamia, and Shamia don't got a problem with Phaedra, but I guess it's territorial over Portia, right? So she was glad to see her. Phaedra didn't say nothing mean about Shamia. She called her sweet, humble girl. She didn't say nothing wrong about Kelly. She said she was short. She really want to just hold Kelly and sit Kelly in her lap and love Kelly with some weird ass. I don't know what Phaedra got going. Oh, honey. So now, Phaedra is going to Grenada. They all approve that she can go just to have some fun. Child, this is what she said, honey, about this group of ladies. Hold on. This is where she belonged because Married to Medicine was not her cup of tea. Okay.
I'm super excited because we've got strawberry shortcake on steroids. We've got the very fluid friend, Drusilla. She was everybody knew. The woman about town, Miss Edie Britt. I went on one date with Dennis. We've got sweet Shamia and the secret wife of Charles Oakley. What did you hear about Charles? I cannot wait to dive in and have some fun.
That's when Angela did not like Phaedra and said, we got some things to talk about. That's where it came from. So, y'all, I'm ready to see episode 14. Episode 14 is at the Oakley charity event that they're going to have. And somebody brought somebody there to spill the tea, try to spill the tea, don't know who, about Mr. Charles Oakley. Now, remember we talked last year that, and a lot of bloggers did that cover this. They said in attendance was Portia, Britt Edie, Kelly, and Phaedra. I think Shamia was there. We didn't see Drew Sidora there. I don't know what happened with Drew and Angela. I'm going to say this. Now, I think Angela has been sticking up for Drew, but I really believe next season we're going to see her calling her a liar too. We're going to see a Drew and Angela fallout. They might be Chicago folks, but I feel like a fallout is coming in the brewing. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on. It was tea, but I feel like it's going to come up. Now, she does credit Angela a lot, and I'm starting to be like, okay, well, Angela, housewife, that's my girl. I try to get her on. But I do feel like Drew and Sadora and Angela Oakley fallout is coming. I don't know why I feel like that. I feel like something going to be said, and it's going to pretend to a fallout next season. Now, I am ready for the reunion. A lot of people saying that they believe Britt is not coming back. I believe she's coming back. I'm going to tell you why. Nobody liked it Kenya at first season, but a couple of housewives. Nobody really cared for her. So she came back. They did the same with Portia. Portia came back. I feel like Shamia and Britt can have a conversation and get what the real tea is and move forward. The same with Kelly. I do feel like Britt will come back. I feel like everybody will be coming back. Everyone will have a peach. But Drew, you talking about on Carlos King, you was everybody's storyline. Graph better not be your storyline next season. Portia better not be your storyline next season. You signed a contract for a new record deal. We need to see more of that. And that's all I got to say. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will see you guys around probably 2 or 3 o'clock today. It might be evening time. And we're going to go ahead and drop into our Monday night live. I hope you guys enjoy your Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all the new subscribers. Thank you guys. If y'all saw my short when I asked y'all, I don't know which one of my subscribers stay in Houston, and y'all been to a Beyonce concert. So listen, I have front row. I'm very excited. Beyonce will be here June 29th. I'm letting you guys know starting June 1st. That first week of June, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to be shopping. I'm going to do a vlog on that and getting my hair braided, preparing to get ready to go see Beyonce. So it will be called 28 Days of Going to See Beyonce. It's going to be in one vlog. Well, it's going to be weeks. I'm going to chop it up, try to put it in, and release it on a Saturday. But if you guys have been to Houston to NRG Stadium and been to a Beyonce concert and you had a front row, I'm behind the Honey Pit. Let me know. Are those good seats? I'm tall, okay? I can see, but I want to know, is that a good seat? Because I'm near the Honey Pit, and I'm gonna let y'all know I will go live. Now if you hear me tearing up when she's saying cozy, it's because that song has spoken to me when I was going through what I was going through. That song put fire in my belly. That song, the words to the second verse just does something to me. When she say been up, been down, been broke, been, all I've been there. Like it just spoke to me. Okay. That song is like an affirmation to me. Just like a lot of other people's songs. Just like when I see Jasmine Sullivan sing a song, I'm gonna go crazy. Especially Burn. Let It Burn. Baby, if she come in concert, if I go see her and she sing that song, I'm not gonna cry. But I'm finna not have a voice because that's my song. Okay? That is my song. Just like all my favorite artists. That's my song. That song that got me through, that is my song. Just like if I go see Maxwell, and I love me some Maxwell, baby. The day that I told him he was a legend, he liked my comment and told me thank you. I felt the love. Oh my God, that man is just so fine to me. I love me some Kim, honey. Let me tell you something. Anybody know they with me and they play a Kim and we get into something and they play that one Kim song? All is forgiven. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Later.